Bismillah. So welcome to our Cherag's ordination today. We're so happy to be with you on this new moon, December 4th, 2021, at least here. It's December 5th for some of you. And so we are so honored and excited to be together after doing a 2-year Cherag training that all of these beloveds have been participating in. And so this is our moment of culmination, celebration, acknowledgement, empowerment, and blessing for these beautiful friends. So throughout the time here, I'll put the words for the prayers and the song that we'll sing in the chat window, so those of you who are joining at a distance can participate as fully as possible, and those of you who are in the room have written versions of them. So we'll begin with the invocation in the 3 languages that are in the hearts of our soon-to-be ordained Cherags.
Toward the One, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of Guidance.
Единому, совершенству любви, гармонии и красоты, единственно сущему, объединяясь со всеми просветленными душами, которые образуют воплощение Мастера, путеводный дух.
E mihiana, ki te kotahitanga pure, ko ia hoki te tino tomata o te aroha, o te whakarotahi me te atahoa. Kaore he tangata ko atu ia, e whakakotahi tia kina wairua tura makatua. Ko rato ne, te whakatinanatanga o rato kua wheturangatia o te nyako ada taki.
To the glory of the omnipresent God. We kindle the light, symbolically representing the Hindu religion. To the glory of the omnipresent God. We kindle the light, symbolically representing the Buddhist religion. To the glory of the omnipresent God. We kindle the light, symbolically representing the Zoroastrian religion. To the glory of the omnipresent God. We kindle the light, symbolically representing the Jewish religion. To the glory of the omnipresent God. We kindle the light, symbolically representing the Christian religion. To the glory of the omnipresent God. We kindle the light, symbolically representing the religion of Islam. to the glory of the omnipresent God. We kindle the light, symbolically representing all those, whether known or unknown to the world, have held aloft the light of truth through the darkness of human ignorance.
If you would please stand with me and we'll say the prayer psalm together. Praise be to thee, most supreme God, omnipotent, omnipresent, all-pervading, the only being. Take us in thy parental arms, raise us from the denseness of the earth. Thy beauty do we worship, and to thee do we give willing surrender. Most merciful and compassionate God, the idealized Lord of the whole humanity, thee only do we worship, and towards thee alone do we aspire. Open our hearts towards thy beauty, illuminate our souls with divine light. O thou, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, all-powerful creator, sustainer, judge, and forgiver of our shortcomings, Lord God of the East and of the West, of the worlds above and below, and of the seen and unseen beings. Pour upon us thy love and thy light. Give sustenance to our bodies, hearts, and souls. Use us for the purpose that thy wisdom chooseth, and guide us on the path of thine own goodness. Draw us closer to thee every moment of our life, until in us be reflected thy grace, thy glory, thy wisdom, thy joy, and thy peace. Amen.
I'd like to have you join me in the Universal Worship Song. I'm going to sing it through once, and then if you'll join me 3 more times. Shri Ram Ahura Mazda Buddha Yahweh Eleison Allah towards the one Shri Ram Ahura Mazda Buddha Yahweh Eleison Allah towards the one Shri Ram Ahura Mazda Buddha Yahweh Eleison Allah towards the one Shri Ram Ahura Mazda Buddha Yahweh Eleison Allah towards the one
offer to the omniscient God our reverence, our homage, and our gratitude for the divine light of the wisdom,
compassion,
purity,
covenant, forgiveness,
unity.
We'll have a minute of silence. Amen.
Please rise and join me in the prayer salat. Most gracious Lord, Master, Messiah, and Savior of humanity, we greet thee with all humility. Thou art the first cause and the last effect, the divine light and the spirit of guidance, Alpha and Omega. Thy light is in all forms, thy love in all beings, in a loving mother, in a kind father, in an innocent child, in a helpful friend, and in an inspiring teacher. Allow us to recognize thee in all thy holy names and forms, as Rama, as Krishna, as Shiva, as Buddha. Let us know thee as Abraham, as Solomon, as Zarathustra, as Moses, as Jesus, as Mohammed, and in many other names and forms, known and unknown to the world. We adore thy past. Thy presence deeply enlightens our being, and we look for thy blessing in the future. O Messenger, Christ, Nabi, the Rasul of God, thou whose heart constantly reaches upward, thou comest on earth with a message, as a dove from above when Dharma decayeth, and speakest the word that is put into thy mouth as the light filleth the crescent moon. Let the star of the divine light shining in thy heart be reflected in the hearts of thy devotees. May the message of God reach far and wide, illuminating and making the whole humanity as one single family in the parenthood of God. Amen.
We'll now have a reading from the Gayan.
The service of God means that we each work for all. What does it matter if Krishna was Christ or Brahma was Abraham? One thing is true, that there was, there is, And there always will be a knower of God, a lover of souls, a server of humanity. We offer to the omniscient God our reverence, our homage, and our gratitude for the light of the divine truth.
Greetings, dear Cherags, dear family, worldwide family. Feel so grateful to be able to speak to you today. My subject is what is a Cherag? I think all of the candidates know, but to speak to everyone, it comes from Urdu, which means a lamp, a light. But there's quite a few things I want to speak to, and this ceremony we're calling the Universal Worship, or was so named the Universal Worship, and I think from the point of view of a mystic, we would be better off to name it the Universal Attunement. And let me explain that in the Sufi tradition or in Sufi practice, you learn from your teacher, from the prophets, from the great masters, by attuning yourself to them, not by worshiping them. So here's the simple difference. If I was to want to study with a master carpenter, just to make it simple, and I went to the carpenter and I'd say, "Oh, you're such a wonderful carpenter. You're so fantastic," in the sense of worshiping the carpenter, I wouldn't learn anything about carpentry. I'd learn about worship. But if I attuned my breath to the carpenter, then I would see how they use the saw and how they use the chisel and get into their rhythm. And so from the inner side of the universal worship, our job is to practice what in Sufi we call Fanafi Rasul, to attune ourselves to all of these great messengers. And in that way, it could be an extraordinary experience. And now, what seems so obvious to us, that there's a universality of religious ideals, is not at all obvious in the world. And I just want to tell you a timely story which I learned yesterday, a very sad story. So I have a young man, a Murid in India, a brilliant scholar, very brilliant scholar, likely to make a mark on the world. From the point of view of universality, married a Hindu woman. They have a child together. They named him Ram Rasul. But now her parents, feeling that he was trying to convert her to Islam, had a strong influence on her, and they called the police, and he was arrested for, I forget what the charge is, but, for trying to convert a Hindu, something like that. And he spent 3 days in jail, though he said he made friends with all the people he was in jail with, and they've all become colleagues and his students. He was let out of jail because the court found it unfounded, but his wife is now rejecting him, following the wishes of the parents, and he won't be able to see his son, and so on and so forth. So we have an opportunity to be the living proof, a living example of what it means to be able to say, if someone asks you, "Are you Muslim?" you can say yes, and if you're a Christian, you can say yes. If you're Buddhist, are you Buddhist? Yes. Are you Jewish? Yes, and so on and so forth. So it would be wrong to say that Sufi was non-denominational. I think it would be right to say that we are multi-denominational. But even more importantly, I think we recognize something. I think it's Inayat who said this: nature speaks louder than the call from the minaret. So the universe is worshiping all the time, all around us. The leaves of the tree, are the reflection of the beauty of God, and so on and so forth. And so I'm certain that all of these messengers who religions formed around had the same message. So what's our job as a Cherag? So one I've already spoken to, which is being the living example, the living heart of universality, of the universality of religious ideals. And in that way, we don't want to be dilettante and just say, "Oh yeah, Jewish is great," but we want to have a living experience of each of the traditions as best we can. And I think that's why having a thorough course like you've had, I shouldn't say thorough, that 2 years is a thorough, but at least a thorough introduction to these great world traditions. And so that if you are running your service and someone is Jewish in the audience, they feel this is authentic and so on. I'm sure we'll always have detractors, and that's the way of life. But there's so many things we're called to in the universal worship functions, births, deaths, house blessings, weddings, and so on. And so we need to develop ourselves as mystics, because it's fine to train to be an officiant of a service, but we are representing a stability of heart, which is far more important than any form that manifests that stability. And so that emptiness of the thought of self-grasping is so valuable, of steadiness, of being able to bring solace to people who are suffering. So that means you need to make friends with suffering and be okay with suffering. If it's death, you need to make friends with death. If you're afraid of death, how are you going to run a ceremony for someone's passing? How are you going to bring relief to people? Courage, how to bring courage, how to bring protection, how to bring compassion, how to bring sympathy, and naturally how to bring service. And I think the last thing that I feel we should all reckon with as part of our role in this universal worship or universal attunement is to meditate deeply on what in pedagogy is called dual and non-dual. So the whole purpose of life from one point of view is deconstructing the notion of being a separate self and merging and experiencing I as the totality. So in that case, beloved Lord, well, that whole sentence is kind of strange. Who's speaking to who? But at the same time, now we have to be honest about our current condition, which is the feeling of being separate. And so recognizing that love is the path to deconstruct I, then we honestly recognize our separation and then work through the path of love. So, which gives us permission. And if you look at the prayers, praise be to thee, they go back and forth between dual, non-dual, dual, non-dual. Praise be to thee, most supreme God, omnipotent, omnipresent, all-pervading, the only being, non-dual. Thee only do we worship, dual, and toward thee alone do we aspire, non-dual, and so on and so forth. So we want to reckon with that in ourselves and keep that question alive. And so lastly, I just want to say hearty congratulations for completing this study with our dear Siraj Sara, and for making family, and for being part of our family and bringing your blessing to the family. And I know that each of you, wherever you are, will be functioning as someone who's bringing a loving kindness and compassion. And then every now and then you'll be called on to function in a more official way. And now you'll have that empowerment to create the atmosphere and help human beings recognize universality. So happy to be with you. Send you all loving kindness, compassion, and as much blessing to awaken for the benefit of all beings. Amen, amen, amen.
Thank you, dear Shabda. For those of you who might be new to this community and this context, Shabda is the peer, that is the spiritual leader of the Sufi Ruhaniyat. That's the lineage stream that we are primarily carrying here, though we include everything. And he is also the title, another title that Shabda carries is the Siraj Munir, which means that he is the lead Siraj, the seniorist of the senior ministers, not meaning the oldest necessarily, but the most empowered. And so we're very blessed and grateful to have Shabda here offering our sermon today and some blessings, and also doing one of the ordinations that are going to be happening here shortly.
They asked Hazrat Inayat Khan if he was the head of the Sufi order, and he said, no, I'm the feet. So I'm going to aim for that,
I appreciate that. And if you don't mind, Shabda, I'm still going to refer to you as that. Okay, so for our ceremony today, we are attuning to the Sufi message of love, harmony, and beauty, the unity of religious ideals, and we'll hear from each of our beloved friends who are about to be ordained, like in the next few minutes. And I have several questions for them. And first, we're going to hear from Azima about the function of the Cherag and Sufism. Azima.
The Sufi message is the same light of wisdom which the divine spirit of guidance has thrown upon the world at all periods in the time of need, through all teachers of humanity, such as Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Buddha, Abraham, Solomon, Zarathustra, Moses, Jesus, Mohammed, and through many souls known or unknown to the world who have held aloft the light of truth through the darkness of human ignorance.
What are the 10 Sufi thoughts?
One, there is one God, the eternal, the only being. None exist save He, save God.
There is one Master, the guiding spirit of all souls, who constantly leads all towards the light.
Three. There is one holy book, the sacred manuscript of nature, which truly enlightens all readers.
Number 4, there is one religion, the unswerving progress towards the ideal, which fulfills the life's purpose of every soul.
Five, there is one law, the law of reciprocity, which is observed as a selfless conscious, together with a sense of awakened justice.
6. There is one human brotherhood, the brotherhood and sisterhood, which unites the children of earth indiscriminately in the parenthood of God.
7. There is one moral principle, the love, which springs forth from self-denial and blooms in deeds of beneficence.
8. There is one object of praise, the beauty, which uplifts the heart of its worshiper through all aspects, from the seen to the unseen.
There is one truth, the true essence of our being, within and without, which is the essence of all wisdom.
10. There is one path, the annihilation of the false ego in the real, which raises the mortal to immortality and in which resides all perfection.
What does a Cherag believe?
That all teachers of humanity who have guided humanity towards a high ideal have been as one embodiment of the divine spirit of guidance.
That the Sufi message is to bring humanity to that consciousness of unity, which is the central theme of all religions.
What are the precautions a Cherag takes?
Not to criticize or oppose any existing religions.
Not to force our beliefs upon others.
Not to influence the devoted followers of any religion to give up their faith.
What are the principles of universal worship?
Regard for the wisdom teachers of humanity.
Respect for all the scriptures of religion.
Earnest response to the Sufi message of love, harmony, and beauty.
Ada, Laurel. As an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and scriptures? And will you be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel? Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. On this day, I ordain you as a Cherag in the Church of all and of all churches. That from this day, you will serve the Sufi message, and in doing so will serve God and humanity. We offer this cloth of benediction from all the great beings who have served humanity and God. Will you please stand? We entrust you with the light of God. The blessings of God to illuminate you and to make your work fruitful. Amen. You have an official certificate.
Thank you, Cherag. Yafata.
Anjali. As an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures? And will you strive to be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel? Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. I ordain you as a Cherag on this day in the Church of all and of all churches. That from this day you will serve the Sufi message, and in doing so will serve God and humanity. We offer you this cloth of benediction, all those who have served humanity and God. Will you please stand? We entrust you with the light of God. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen. Let me make sure I have the right, I was very careful about them. You never know if the goblins will come in and shuffle them while I'm not looking. Kalimala. She's exactly the right height. I'm too tall. Kalimala. As an ordained Cherag Zadi, a daughter Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures? And will you strive to be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel? Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. I ordain you today as a Cherag Zadi in the Church of All and of all churches. That from this day, you'll spread the Sufi message, the light of God, that you'll serve humanity. We offer you this cloth of benediction, blessing and protection from all those who have served, you don't get two of them, I'm sorry, who have served God and humanity. Please stand. We entrust you with the light of God. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen. You want to say hello to your dad on there?
Hi, Daddy. Hello, everybody.
Oh, my heart. Mirabai. So y'all get a different point of view, so Mirabai can be over here with me. Mirabai, as an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures? And will you strive to be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel wherever and however you can over there? toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. The light wants to get out. It doesn't want to close. I think I got it. You have something rose over there? I ordain you today as a Cherag in the Church of all and of all churches, that from this day on, you will spread the Sufi message of love, harmony, and beauty, to be a blessing for all in service to humanity. I give you this cloth of benediction, of protection and blessing of all those who have served humanity and God. And you don't need to stand, but I'm just going to envision you standing. And let's see. Can you keep track of this one for nearby so it doesn't go anywhere else? Okay. We entrust you with the light of God. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen. Ya Fatah. Oh, I have a folder here, but I actually already gave Mirabai her certificate over there. There you go. She has hers. Okay, Aliella. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I forgot that I was supposed to do this thing. Hold on a minute. I hope I remember to put them back later. Okay. Aliella, as an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures? Will you be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel, wherever and however you are over there? Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. Here's a rose oil. I ordain you this day as a Cherag of the universal worship, the Church of all and of all churches. That from this day you will spread the Sufi message, and in doing so will serve God and humanity. Amen. offer you this cloth of benediction, of blessing and protection of all those who have served humanity. You don't actually have to stand if you don't want to, but you're welcome to. So this one is for Aliala. Would you mind holding on to that one for her for later? Oh. We entrust you with the light of God. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen. Ya Fatah. I do have hers over here, but I'm going to send it to her. Okay, so maybe you can keep that one in her shawl. Okay, where did our Azima go? Hold on a moment while I go find her again. Azima. Okay, Azima. As an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures? Will you be sincere and humble in your service to humanity? Uh-oh, our internet connection just went
I will.
unstable. Okay. Will you please kneel, however,
Ask me.
wherever you are?
Ask me again.
As an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures? Will you be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel? And Azima has a beloved Cherag friend over there, Sajida, who's going to be the hands of God for this service over there.
Can you get behind where David is so I can look at her? Or does that work? No. Okay, that's all right.
Okay. So with some rose oil, tracing a heart, I ordain you this day as the Cherag of the universal worship. And then with wings on the right and the left, in the church of all and of all churches, and then a crescent moon, that from this day you will spread the Sufi message, and then a 5-pointed star, and in doing so will serve God and humanity. With a white cloth.
Yeah.
We offer you this cloth of benediction, of blessing and protection for all those who have served humanity and God. Okay, and this one is to Azima. Okay, if you'd like to stand, you're welcome to do that. Oh my gosh, did I not light a thing? How did I miss that? I'm sorry. We're going back a little bit toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. Okay, and then you get this right away. We entrust you with the light of God.
Connect to iPhone. Alexa, connect to my iPhone.
Okay, and then here's some more rose water. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen. Ya Fatah. Ya Fatah. And I have Azima's certificate that will be coming will be sent to her. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Rahmana. As an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures? And will you strive to be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel? Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. I ordain you this day as the Cherag of the universal worship, the church of all and of all churches, that from this day you may serve God and humanity, spreading the Sufi message of love, harmony, and beauty. We offer you this cloth of benediction, of blessing and protection from all those who have served humanity and God. Will you please stand? We entrust you with the light of God. Hold on, stay right here. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen. I'm going to say hello to your beloved husband. Which of those was for Mirabai? Is this Mirabai's? Because it's actually not hers, because she already has hers. So I actually keep that one retracted. Not really. Okay. Oh, wonderful friends. Now we're going to have Rahima, and Shabda is going to be holding this piece. Just a moment while I find Shabda again. Oh, actually, we can just leave you right there. Sorry, I forgot what we were doing.
I think we're going to work together. Yeah. My dear Rahima, as an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures?
I will.
And will you be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Amen, amen. Okay, so if you would light that, the lamp there. Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. Okay, so are you going to be the tracer? My finger extension? Okay. So I ordain you this day as a Cherag of the Universal Worship, the Church of all and of all churches, and from this day you will spread the Sufi message of love, harmony, and beauty, and in so doing will serve God and humanity. So if you'd, okay, we give you this gift of a benediction cloth and of a benediction of all those who have brought the message of God. And with all confidence, we entrust you with this light of God. Okay. May God bless you, illuminate you, and make all your work fruitful. And we offer this certificate as the recognition of you as a Cherag. Ya Fatah.
Ya Fatah!
Nana.
So now you have to unping me here.
Okay, I'll unpin you. Okay, Inanna. Inanna, as an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures?
I will.
And will you strive to be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel? Okay. You are good. Just a moment. Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. I ordain you this day as a Cherag of the Universal Worship in the Church of all and of all churches, that from this day you will spread the Sufi message and thereby serve God and humanity. Amen. I offer you this cloth of benediction, blessing and protection of all those who have served God. Okay, would you like to come help?
Thank you.
We entrust you with the light of God. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen.
Ya
Fatah!
I love you. Nana.
Thank you.
Rakiba. Rakiba, as an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures, And will you be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel? Please. Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. I ordain you this day as a Cherag in the Universal Worship, in the Church of all and of all churches, that from this day you may spread the Sufi message and serve God and humanity. We offer you this cloth of benediction, of blessings and protection for all those who have served God. Will you please stand? We entrust you with the light of God. Thank you. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Halim. Oh, Halim, Simon, because everybody here knows you, Simon. As an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures? And will you strive to be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel? Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. I ordain you this day as a Cherag of the Universal Worship in the Church of all and of all churches, that from this day you may spread the light and the message of Sufism and serve God and humanity. Amen. We offer you this cloth of benediction, of blessings and protection of all those who have served God. And please stand. We entrust you with the light of God. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen. Ja, Bismillah. Zamira. Bismillah. As an ordained Cherag, will you strive to uphold the great teachers and their scriptures? And will you strive to be sincere and humble in your service to humanity?
I will.
Will you please kneel? Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. I ordain you this day as a Cherag of the universal worship in the church of all and of all churches, that from this day you will spread the Sufi message and serve God and humanity. We offer you this cloth of benediction, blessings and protection of all those who have served God and humanity. Will you please stand? We entrust you with the light of God. May God bless you and illuminate you and make your work fruitful. Amen. Okay, friends, we would love to hear from the beloved teachers that are here with us, whose sweet and dedicated, phenomenal Marids have just been ordained. Let's see, where am I? Yeah, so I see Abraham and Halima. Would the two of you like to say anything in particular for your beloved Aliella? But we'll all hear whatever you say. Oh, sorry.
Hi. Well, blessings to everyone who's been ordained today. May the message of God reach far and wide, and to our beloved Aliella, 1,000 blessings to you. May your path illuminate your life, and may you shine your light bright. I know you're in service, so may this path open your service even more. And really, that's a blessing I wish on all of us, whether we're in service in this particular way or however we're in service. So, yeah, Fatah.
I want to say that this ceremony is full of light and full of blessing and beauty. And my sense is that we've all been in a real ritual, like a wedding. Something real has moved, and we are as a group of people who've been blessed with this moment. We are joined and united, and may this blessing carry forth, and each of you fulfill the incredible challenge and opportunity that you've been offered here.
Yeah.
Ya Fatah.
So here's that light here. Ooh.
Thank you, Abraham and Halima. And now I have
Also, Sarah, all blessings on your work.
Yes.
Thank you for holding such a beautiful
Yes.
opportunity for people to step into service this way.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was my great honor. Thank you. Catherine and Stephen, would the two of you like to add a blessing, particularly for your beloved Azima? But we're all going to hear what you say. Do you know how to unmute yourselves?
This process. So yeah, thank you for inviting us here, and so lovely to be with our beloved Azima, who is embarking on this beautiful service to the world. I must say though, she has been that light in our lives for the last 7 years. And it's just to see her expand and grow into this lovely service for the world is a joy to our hearts. And yeah, we love you dearly, Azima, and thank you for choosing this path. And blessings to all of you. Yeah, lovely to see some old friends and new friends. Amen.
I'd like to say that when you become a guide on the path, it's not a one-way process. We feel very enriched by having Sally Azima as our murid, and we have learned as much from her as we have taught her. So there's a two-way blessing that has occurred in this time. We wish you all the best on this journey, and of course we will continue to be with you and to help you in any way that we can, and to be the underpinning support for all of your work in the world. And your work in the world is already blessing so many. Yes. So this is a real privilege to be part of this today. So send greetings to everybody around the world, and I must say that I am in awe of Sarah's ability to hold this service, but also do all the tech. I don't know how you do that. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We feel very privileged to be part of this.
Thank you. Basira.
Stephen.
And Basira in particular for Rahima, but we're all going to hear it.
Greetings, everyone. Rahima, just send you so much love and joy upon this new role that you've worked so hard to be able to do in this life. And I really bow to that. And all of you who have done this course, I just really am deeply touched by your concentration and efforts on this path to really learn. And it's my hope that the teachings that you now have studied really become internalized and alive and living and creative through each of you. This is a really very extraordinary kind of ray of our work, because there's so much tradition and ritual in it, and there's a lot of power in putting ourselves in ceremony, and I really wish for all of you that it can be a living, alive, creative expression of service in your life. And so Amin to all of you, Yafata, to all of you, Rahima, you're radiant, beautiful. Thank you, Sarah, and loved all.
And Pir Shabda, would you like to offer a blessing for all of us, for all of these beloveds? And I'll twirl the camera around so everybody can see you while we do it. Hold on just a moment, though, while I release some of these spotlights. Hold on a moment. Okay. Shabda.
Oh yeah. So there we go. That's nice. I love what Basira just shared, that the message becomes living within us, and naturally we make prayers for each and every one of you, that every day you're surrounded with strength and courage and kindness and compassion, that you always have tolerance and patience as your companions, that you are able to manifest forgiveness, to have integrity, to have generosity, and especially to be in tune with the infinite. God bless you all. This is a beginning, not a completion. Naturally, it's a completion of your study, but now this is your first breaths as a Cherag, and may you be able to minister, to show beauty and provide solace and strength and protection wherever you go. And also making the same prayer for Sarah and for all the work she's doing. May it be strong and powerful and full of blessing and full of kindness, full of ease and forgiveness, like the same for you. And same for everyone on the screen, and naturally for all beings in all realms. So God bless you all.
Thank you. So you all are welcome and invited to stand to join us for the prayer Khatum. O thou, who art the perfection of love
Of love,
and
harmony,
beauty, the Lord of heaven and earth, open our hearts that we may hear thy voice, which constantly cometh from within. Disclose to us thy divine light, which is hidden in our souls, that we may know and understand life better. Most merciful and compassionate God, give us thy great goodness. Teach us thy loving forgiveness. Raise us above the distinctions and differences which divide. Send us the peace of thy divine Spirit, and unite us all in thy perfect being. Amen. And I've asked for all of our newly ordained Cherags to come crowd up here with me to offer a final blessing. I think we can knock it in there. I can't quite tell. Are you ready? May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide with you. May God's presence illuminate your soul, now and forevermore. Amen. Yapata, 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 yapata.